have integrity in business, correct?
Yes.
So I like to start things on time. We are 15 minutes late, so we're going to try and accelerate our time together. I'm going to ask the moderator here if you can give each speaker 8 minutes to speak and ring the bell at the 8 minutes so that everybody gets a chance to really speak well. Okay, so I would love to invite my co-leads. Please come on stage. There's Monique, Boxel, Honey, Katuria, Mino, Sinha, and my name is Didi Wong. I'm the lead of the session. Today we're going to talk about how to help women start a startup. Very exciting topic. I'm going to start off by giving you 8 minutes of what I want to teach you, including, oh sure, you can sit down. I'll invite you guys up, sorry. Well, thank you. Again, I always love to thank everyone for showing up. It's really important that I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for your time here today, and you have a few sessions to choose from, and you chose ours, so thank you for showing up. So, I am the queen of startups. This is what I do. This is what I help other people do. And I love this topic because it's at the beginning, it's the birth of a business. And for me, I love infants, babies, the birth of entrepreneurship, the birth of your business. It's the most important, exciting time of your life. So let's talk about startups. I'm going to start off by giving you a story about how I started being an entrepreneur. In fact, I just wrote a chapter of this, the birth of my entrepreneurship, with the legendary Jack Canfield. I don't know if you know. Yes? He is for those of you who don't know, Jack Canfield is the legendary guy who started the Chicken Soup for the Soul, very famous series in the world. And I had the opportunity recently to co-author a book with him, and I'm excited to tell you that. So the birth of my entrepreneurship, Chakras by Didi, was my very first, very exciting time when I started becoming a businesswoman. I did not know a single thing about how to start a business. So right away, I want to give you the message that just because you don't know, you didn't go to MBA, you didn't go to business school, it does not mean you cannot be a businesswoman, because I am standing in front of you after 10 years of being in business as a successful businesswoman, and I've started 6 startups, and I help other people start startups. So at the beginning of Chakras by Didi, I had no money, I had no credit, I was in America, and the most important thing about startup is your idea that you're very excited about, you're passionate about, that you have the long-term vision for it, you know how it's going to be in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. But now the most important part is, where do you get the money from? If you don't have any credit, if the banks are not going to even give you a meeting because you don't have any credit, where do you go? I will obviously speak for myself because I have experience in America. So you could go to an SBA, that's a place where they really do help startups, but I had no credit, I had no identity in America. So the only way to start a business when you have nothing is to go to friends and family. That is really the only way. So I went to my parents. I went to my parents and told them my idea, and my dad told me, you must have a business plan. I'm not just going to give you a bunch of money to start up something that you don't have a plan for. So I went ahead and researched and researched and researched and understood my numbers. I understood the market that I'm going to be in. And then I wrote my business plan. It took me a long time to write that business plan. So I had a business plan. I call it your Bible. And I offered it to my parents to read. And thank goodness they read it and approved and gave me my first $100,000 US to start up my company. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy, who are sitting right in front of me. And that was 10 years ago. And then I used $35,000 of that to buy myself a Prius. At that time, the Prius was the most trendy car. And, you know, all the television shows was all about the Prius because it's the newest electric car. And so anyway, I bought that car. I still have it today, and I'm proud to have it today. And then I used my remainder $65,000 to start up Chakras by Dee. So I don't have that much time. I have 8 minutes. So I will just give you practical questions for you to think about when you're starting a business. As women, does your idea and the product or the service that you're going to do, does it fit into your personal life? If you are a mother, how are you going to juggle your children, your husband, your family life, your social life, and still be able to do your business? So that's number one thing to think about. Is it something that's going to enhance your life, or is it something going to stress you out? Number two, consider right away getting a mentor, getting an advisor, somebody who can, you're going to have an advisor who can teach you how to register your company. So do you want an LLC, do you want an S Corp, C Corp, sole proprietorship? All of those things are really important, especially if you are in America. I don't know the taxes in other countries, but in America, to save yourself taxes, it's important to know how to incorporate, what entity you want your company to have. So that would be a CPA question, but a good CPA, not a CPA who just wants your money and give you a quick answer. And I have those in my network if you need. A mentorship. Finding the right mentor, really important. Only about 18 months ago, I found myself a mentor. He has accelerated my career tenfold in that short period of time. I wasted about 8.5 years doing it on my own, asking lots of questions, reading lots of books. But in the last 1.5 years, I truly have become a different businesswoman just because of this mentor. So I encourage you as a startup to find yourself a mentor, and I am one of those. I actually help people start up because now I have the experience both ways. And so consider that. And then management skills. Ask yourself that true question about your own personality. Do you have what it takes to be your own businesswoman? Like, to be the CEO of your company. Are you somebody who wakes up every single day and you have the motivation to go about business without wanting to sit on the couch, watch TV, go shopping, you know, go to the spa, whatever you do as a woman, you know, that is more the pampering side. Can you actually wake up and have a plan every single day to do that and take care of your children and, you know, to have time with your husband? I personally am one person who would wake up, I know exactly what I want to do, what I need to do, I know my calendar very well, and I only take 20 minutes for lunch every day. I work at home, so my children is there with me. I hear what's going on with the nanny and the children, so I'm keeping my ear out for what's going on at home. So I'm kind of being a mother also, but I'm in my office, and I'm at the computer working and doing what I need to do, and I would go out and take 20 minutes to hug my twins. They're 2.5 years old, play with them for a little bit, knowing that they know mommy is home, they know not to come into my office. They know because I trained them that way. So it is possible to be a mother, and I have 4 under the age of 7, to be a mother, to be a working woman. Why not? We are women who are out there. Why can't we have our own identity? I have so many clients who come to me and say, I have a child now, should I give up my job? You know, after the maternity leave, they have no idea what to do. They came from a very high-end job, they had a baby, now what? They're so lost. And I encourage them all the time to please do not lose your identity. Being a mother doesn't mean you have to lose yourself. And because they grow up and they get married, and they'll have their own families, and then what happens to you, right? So important, most important thing is spend time with your husband, have a great marriage, and still be able to run a business. I have just one last thing to do. Network, network, network. To network, network, network. Please, every time you have an opportunity to meet new friends, treat it as somebody you can be friends with, but also network. Exchange information. How can you help each other? It's not about what I can get from you. It's all about how you can help each other. And the very last thing, like I said, I was an ex-Nike model, so I'm allowed to say this. Just do it. I'm now going to invite Honey to come up to speak.
Thank you, Didi. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here today. This is my third session of the day, so if someone has listened to me in the previous 2 sessions, there is going to be a repetition of it. But I would like to start by saying something about myself. I started a company in Hong Kong while I was managing Hotels.com. It's an online travel agency. I was managing their offline operations for the whole APAC region. So, earning good money, had great perks, etc. And then, I had a calling. I was helping a friend find a co-working space, going space to space with her. And then I was like, after 3 spaces, like, do you go to all the hotel rooms before you book them? So, just find all the information online. And she was like, oh, I don't trust, the things which are available there. So it's like, what, there's a gap. So, we need to get all this information online in a trustable way so that people can book workspaces. So from there the idea of co-work started, and I established it in Hong Kong first. But the cost of running business in Hong Kong, especially when you are investing your own money or earning Hong Kong dollars, was pretty high. So I moved the operations to India. So now then I incorporated a company in India. So my experience is a bit different because I kind of operate in both countries and I face different kind of challenges everywhere. But in order to fix everything within 8 minutes, what I would like to do is tell you, a bit about co-work. It's a platform where people can find people like entrepreneurs, freelancers, even companies can find professional and economical workspaces, shared plug-and-play workspaces. So if you just want to work for a day or a week or a month, you can just do that at a space. So having done that in 2 different countries, and now we are present in 25 plus countries, I've got experience. But I'll summarize my learnings, or and tell you 3 things that I have learned, which I think can help any other woman start a startup. And it's my love for 3 things. In all my sessions, I've talked about 3 things. The first thing that I want to tell you is that, assuming what all Didi said you have done, right? You know what you want to do. The best time to start your startup is now. Do not think my next promotion is due, my international trip is planned, or a wedding is planned. I'll do it I'll do it in 3 months, I'll do it in 2 weeks. If you are ready, do it now, because believe me, there will be no better time than today, than now, to do your own venture. You would not be more ready. So, once you have done your homework, just go for it. Do not look for excuses to delay the start. The sooner you start, the higher chance you have to learn and grow. So that's being the first thing. The second thing is actually, Didi had spoken a lot about it, is finding mentor. So I would convert it into saying finding your pillars of support. Especially in Indian society and other places, we women are meant to do multitasking. We run business, we manage home, we have children. So I have an 11-month-old. So I got pregnant when COVID was running. I had my son, and he's growing up along with my company. So you cannot do it by yourself. Believe me. If you want to manage all the roles and you really want to excel in it, you do need help. So accept it and create that support structure for you. Whether it's your family, your husband needs to support you, your parents, your friends, just the professional help or anything. Set things in place before you go, before you deep dive. So don't be afraid in creating that ecosystem or environment for you, which is in the form of pillars of support, and also include mentor. Cannot stress on the fact how important it is for you, for anyone who's doing a business, to get a realistic feedback from people who are close to you. Because if they don't tell you, your customers are going to tell you that your products suck, or you need to improve this, which is very expensive and very demotivating. Believe me, I better hear it from my husband or my mentor that I need to improve certain things than my customer writing it on my Facebook page saying this thing doesn't work. So find those set of people who believe in you, who can give you the honest feedback that you need to understand your potential and grow your business. So do your homework on that side. And the third point, which I think is really, really important, and I have seen that not happening, especially in India. I was born and raised up in India, and I didn't have that quality which I gained through, after living in 5 different countries and working for 15 years abroad, is your ability to ask. Don't be afraid to raise a question. Don't be afraid to ask what you don't know or what you need to know in order to succeed. There's nothing wrong. What happened? You will ask a stupid question. That's okay. Let it be. But ask what you don't know. Ask what you think you should have a right to know. I'll give you an example. When I started Cowork, at that time, the IT platform needed to be created, I outsourced it. Of course, I'm not an IT person. I cannot speak their language. But very logically, I knew the kind of product I wanted to build. I knew what customer experience I wanted to have. So I did have a weekly meeting with my IT development team. I'm sure they were laughing all the time, or cursing me for being, for asking all those questions or saying, no, this test case does not pass, you haven't made this right. But what I get feedback from the team is after a product was ready, is that my intervention, which they called it, was really helpful in making the product what it is today. Because without my input or my involvement or my asking questions about so many technical things which were happening, they would have not done the job they did. A lot of people need to be told or need to be given feedback. They need to be asked questions. And I realized that it is my right. There's something wrong in me asking questions, because this happens in India a lot. We are told not to be visible, not to ask questions. Oh, you're stupid. You are in a class of 60. If you ask a question, other 59 would laugh at you. So you try to learn to be quiet. Do not do that when you're doing your own startup. Don't be afraid. It is your right to know. So please go to ask. So just to summarize my 3 points to any woman who's looking to start a startup is, there is no better time than now. Please create a support structure, find mentors, for your startup, and don't be afraid to ask questions. That's all. I would now like to invite Meenal, who will be speaking.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you so much once again, everyone who's taken the time out to be here to listen to the 4 of us. And we've had some very good talks already here by Didi and Honey, so I will try and keep it as lively as they have. My background is I'm Meenal Sinha, founder and CEO of Meetings and Offices .com, and Honey and I are in similar businesses. So you must be, first question now you will ask is, what are the competitors doing out here? So according to me, my maxim is collaborate and grow together, because each one of us, if we keep on trying to, own the entire world, we are not going to be successful. We can grow the market together. That's why we are here together, and that's why we talk to each other a lot as well. So I'm a first generation entrepreneur. When I tell this at most talks that I give, at 40, when I gave up my job, for the next 1 year, I did not have the courage to tell my father I'd given up my job. So in India, from service class family, you don't give up a high-paying, nice, cushy career. You don't do that. That's not it. But that was my calling. I wanted to do it. I had been in the industry, so maybe it was a little easier for me than Honey, because I had been in the industry. I knew a lot of people, so getting it together was not that difficult. But I think what was the main thing that helped me was that in the past 20 years of my corporate career, I had not focused on making money, but I had focused on making relationships. And that's what I tell all salespeople today: make relationships, money will just follow. You don't have to look at the transactional benefit of every conversation. Make a long-lasting relationship. Somewhere, somehow, it will bring fruit. So that is what you have to believe in. And about today's topic about helping women start a startup, first of all, we are all women here at the Dini's dad, and the camera crew. But I really don't believe that women need any special help in starting a startup. Women are the better sex. We are better equipped. We are, by nature, we are nurturers. We are multitaskers. So it comes easy to us. And one of my pillars of support, my dad, he was just asking me last night, so what is your topic, what are you going to talk about? So I told him, and he was like, but then that's a fact, it's a given, isn't it? And then this morning I was thinking, no wonder I turned out like this, although I fight with him a lot. But he said, if a man and a woman decide to do the same thing, the woman will do it twice better. So I think there are two sides to the coin as well. There is one part of the society all over the world, the developed nations and the economically stronger society, where it's a little easier for women. The economically weaker society, there's a different mindset. So in the mindset where men, and there is a support ecosystem, as Honey said, so maybe not ask questions, but my ask is, ask people for support. Ask. Don't shy of asking people to support you. I think what happens with women is, in our paradigm, women want to be the best at everything. So they're perfectionists, right? We were born perfectionists. So I want to be the best mom, I want to be the best wife, I want to be the best daughter-in-law, I want to be the best baker in town. Hell no, I can't do that. So focus. If you have made a choice, believe in yourself, believe in your choice. If your choice is to stay at home, raising kids who are then going to be entrepreneurs and better citizens, then be happy with that choice. But if you've chosen to be a career woman, if you've chosen to start a startup, there is nothing in this world that can stop you from being a champion at it. So just go ahead, just do it, as Didi said. Just go ahead, believe in it. You have to just do it passionately. You have to believe in yourself because you are not under-equipped by any standards. And I have a very special anecdote which amuses me ever since it happened. So I was at this conference a couple of months back, and a lot of VCs and all there, so a very senior guy from a VC firm. He came, he was talking to me, there were a couple of other men around me, and I gave him my card, and he said, oh, meetings and offices, I know this company. I was like, wow, we are famous. He was like, no, I know the founder. And my visiting card reads exactly what it says here, founder and CEO. So I was like, okay, I am the founder. You know the card is in your hand. I am the founder. I haven't met you. No, not you. The main guy. Oh, he had been the main guy. And these guys next to me were laughing, actually laughing, and thank God for men like that. So the guy he had met was my co-founder and my husband. Thank God for him also, because he lets me be the main guy. We actually told him, I think my card says founder and CEO, so I must be the main guy. And the rest of the conference, I spoke up, right? I did not shy from it. I did not get depressed that there was somebody trying to pull me down. I told him on his face what a jackass he was. For the rest of the conference, he couldn't reach my eyes. He was giving me these really polite smiles, putting his eyes down and walking away. We women don't speak up enough. We don't speak up enough. And I was able to speak because I am bloody confident of what I do. I know my shit. And I can handle it. So I think that's what all of us need to do. So, and on the other side, there is this economically weaker strata of the society where women are constantly being told, your place is in the house. And at times men, according to them, well-meaningly, they feel, women are not sent out to work. We protect our women. Guys, you're not protecting them. You're hampering their growth. But to these women, I think what we need to do, and which is why I'm very glad I'm at this conference, the entire environment at WEF has been this, and I've met so many lovely, inspirational women. Women mentors need to step up, help other women become entrepreneurs. Women who have been leaders, who have been successful in their careers, do not give enough to other women, I feel. Especially in India, I feel it's still lacking. And this morning, Deb was saying that only 6% of the VCs in US are women. So it's the men who are pulling us down. Let's not do that. Let the successful women go out there and support women, whether they're the economically weaker strata or the good good startup and they are happy, whatever it is. But if somebody has a dream, let's help them build it, and let's tell them to break the shackles. You can do it. Just because you're an economically weaker strata also, just because you're a woman, it doesn't mean you can't do things. You are you're nurturing the future of the country, the future of the world, because you are raising children. If you are not able to do it, and if you're not able to believe in yourself, what are you going to teach the kids for tomorrow? So I think women mentors are very important. They need greater encouragement. And the last that I want to say, I'm done with my time, right? Yeah. So let us all be the main guy.
She's the main guy, right? Great. So let me just understand who's in the room. How many of you, raise your hand if you do. How many in the room run your own business? Wow, look around. Incredible. And how many of you think about starting your own business? Starting. Right, so this, okay, well, great. I can see you have many mentors in the room. Fantastic. How many of the business owners think about building another one at some point? Okay. Good. So you're all startups again and again, right? Well, when I grew up in Germany, in fact in Eastern Communist Germany, I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about life, and I knew nothing about bananas. Honestly, they taught us to know Banana Republic. We didn't have bananas, and we didn't have entrepreneurs. People were state-employed, resources state-owned. Even the profession you were choosing was kind of like planned economy. So when I grew up, the mantra was, well, girl, be good in school, you get a good job, you have a good life. How many of you grew up with that mantra? Okay, quite a few. Well, I did what I was told. I learned, I was good at school, got a good job. At some point, I ended up in the corporate world. 15 years. And at some point, I was the global head of pricing and yield management of DHL worldwide. Driving $1 million budgets, had teams all over the world. For a little while, I felt like an entrepreneur in a big business. Then the organization changed. And then one day, I was sitting at my desk, and I got a mail from a friend of mine with the subject, bad news. And I got a message that my soulmate, Michael, had just died. Unexpectedly, 46 years old, left a 5-year-old child behind. And less than a year later, my boss died unexpectedly. 46 years old, leaving a 5-year-old child behind. I was in my late 30s, and I thought about, what if I have to die at the age of 46? And I remembered that my friend Michael, he'd never settled for anything good. He'd always gone for extraordinary. Every day was extraordinary, and he put sparkle into the darkest days. And I thought, I have to live that way too. And I did a lot of coaching and mentoring, and it took me a couple of more years until I stepped out. And the day I stepped out and left the corporate salary, the monthly salary check, and a shiny company car behind, I just, for the first time in many years, felt I was in the right way. And then I started to build my business. And I have to say that, no, it wasn't easy. The first business failed big time. The first 1.5 years, I built a business with 5 partners, failed big time, burned 60,000 euros. Not much in the startup world, a lot on my bank account. You know, it's 1.5 years of my life. And then I was back at point zero. But I'm grateful for that time because I learned the famous 10,000 ways of how not to do it. So then I was back at point zero, and you know, as we all hear, entrepreneurs never give up, right? So I said, okay, I want to learn what it takes to build a business no matter what. So I really started to ask myself, what do I want to do? And now 7 years later, I run pretty much 2 platforms. One is really helping entrepreneurs to start a business from scratch, take an idea, turning that into a profitable business, and then really taking entrepreneurs, a lot of solopreneurs, to really turn this 6-figure business into a 7-figure business. So to make it scalable, so that people, you know, when they cannot work, or especially women often, coaches, trainers, consultants, speakers, when they cannot work, they're still making money. So that's what I do. And then I also run run a professional speakers platform where we get professional speakers together to exchange, to learn, to grow. And I'm proud to say that we brought already quite a few speakers to the WEF. And we bring speakers onto paid stages and help them to go and speak internationally, because visibility is so important as an entrepreneur. So what I realized as an entrepreneur, I think when I started out, and even throughout the years, I realized we need three things. And that is what we provide with our entrepreneurial platform. One is guidance, step by step. Right? We make so many mistakes all the time. What if we could avoid all of them? Get guided step by step. It's guidance. The second thing we need is accountability. We all have so many plans, so many things we want to do, and then we do not what we plan to do. So we want to be held accountable. And the third thing is, I all feel that we as entrepreneurs need a bubble of love, right? We need family, we need other entrepreneurs that we can celebrate big successes with and share big failures with. And that is what we provide. We provide people that work with us, step-by-step guidance, accountability, and a bubble of love. Let's talk about some of the steps I learned we need to take. So no matter if you already have a business or you're starting out with a business, so yeah, right? Well, ask yourself again, even if you think about how can I bring my business to the next level now, ask yourself some questions. One is, who are actually my clients? What do they need and want? Even if you are and have been in your business already for a while, and we have a lot of established business owners here in the room, ask yourself, what do they need and want? And don't just pretend you know them already. Try to really step into their shoes. And even here, there's so many incredible women and men. See if you find someone that you want to serve and ask them, so where are you right now? If you could change 3 things in your business or life, what would those be? Really ask people around and find out new ways of serving them. Every day there's a question I wake up with, which is, what else can I do for the people that I serve today? So ask them these questions. So who are your clients and what do they need? And then as we heard it earlier, okay, it's about get yourself a support team together. We heard from Didi, it's so powerful to have a mentor. Another thing that helped me from day one is I had an accountability partner. You know what an accountability partner is? How many of you have one? Okay, a few. So, what is an accountability partner? It is someone that holds you accountable pretty much on a daily basis, that you check in with and say, what are some of the 3 things I gotta get done today to bring my business to the next level? Otherwise, we're always so busy and we don't really focus on what brings us forward in bigger ways. So, how many of you would love to have an accountability partner that doesn't have one? Would you like to just stand up for a second? Okay. Right, I help you find one, okay? Look around the room and, check in your eyes with someone or lock in your eyes with someone. Someone that you like or someone that you find sympathetic or someone you like to learn from. Okay? It should be, by the way, someone standing. Okay? So find someone standing. Okay? Everyone has someone? I suggest that after this session, you get together and you say, hey, let's work together. How does that sound? Yes? Okay. I can tell you that when I run these sessions, often enough, I meet people like a year later, they say, you know what, we really did it, and we are still talking to each other on a regular basis. And I can tell you that they don't only hold yourself accountable, they also remind you of all your successes when you feel that you're not making progress, and that is so powerful. Okay? Thank you. You can sit down together. Boundaries can get visible. Okay? Step up onto any stage you can. And that doesn't only mean that step up on the WEF stages when you have speaking slots. Also when someone is asking questions in groups like that, step over and out of your comfort zone. Step over your boundaries and speak up and say what you do. We heard about the power of asking so many times today. So ask, get help, support. So I really just invite you, again, ask powerful questions. Find someone that can guide you step by step by step. That can be a mentor, that can be someone else. Okay? Really find someone that holds you accountable to make it happen. And make sure that not only you step into a bubble of love, but you create a bubble of love for everyone else around you. And I'd like to end with a quote from Ray Bradbury, whenever you really have a bigger dream, you want to bring your business to the next level, or you want to get started, first jump off the cliff and build the wings on the way down. So to all the courageous women and men that are entrepreneurs, so I think Didi, you want to start over?
We're going to invite the speakers up.
Yes.
We're going to have 2 minutes each, if you don't mind, 2 minutes each. We're going to ask each other a question mostly about, we'll ask the Nancy. Okay, so I'm going to ask Honey.
Yeah.
So she just had a baby recently, 11 months old. We really want to talk about breastfeeding in the workplace.
Yeah, this is a nice topic. All the guys don't get scared. I'm comfortable, don't start moving around. I'm going to speak what is there. I think you should listen to me from the point of view, like, you know, this happens to your wives and your girlfriends, whatever. But breastfeeding at workplace, when you're an entrepreneur, whether you're running your own business or you're working somewhere, is an important issue. And for a lot of women whom I've met here and everywhere else, one of the concerns is, oh, I want to have a family, how can I start a business? Well, that's true, your business is your child, but in today's world, it is possible to raise a child and be an entrepreneur. If you want to talk to me later on how to do it, please do that. But I was, when my son was born, I was running co-work, so I had the liberty of, just working limited hours and working late night or between feeding sessions and all, and being able to come home, etc. But what had happened in my organization, in the last organization where I was working, was that we had a small office of around 70 people, and one lady got pregnant, a very good friend of mine, and I was on the women welfare board for the office. So she came and asked us that I need to breastfeed once my child is born and I'm back to work. How will that happen? So it was like, okay, we don't have child, we don't know what you're talking about, let's figure it out. So the way the office was constructed, it's like, there was a director's office, which was a big one, and then there were meeting rooms, which are all made of glass, like it is today. So we went and, we covered actually the one whole meeting room, make it like, colorful inside and everything. Yeah, it killed the meeting room, like, people complain, but that's okay, guys, suck it up, like, her need is more important than yours, she needs to express. So, she carried her pump with her, and we blocked the meeting room for her for every X hours whenever she needed it. So, it is possible is what I'm saying, and kind of come back to ask, she came and asked for it, that I want to join back when I need to express, what do I do, can I go home, etc. So, there are things that can be worked around. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're running a business, make sure your team is ready for the transition, that you are going to be not available all the time, you'll be sending email at 3 a.m. When you wake up, it's like when you are checking email. Make sure your team is in place to understand your absence and they can work without you. So, having a child when you are running your own business is very, very challenging. It's not easy. You actually work 48/7. But it is doable with proper planning and with the support of your team, your family, and your husband is the most important thing about it. So that's what I would share about my experience of having a baby when I ran a company. So I'm going to ask Meena the question, because she has a 16-year-old. That's like the other extreme. And, Meena, what we see a lot happening is, like, the men need to support women at times. Especially when you want to work and you have a child and family, and you are raising a boy, who's gonna have a family, etc. What do you think? What values are important for you to instill in the next generation, so that they can become entrepreneur and they can support women entrepreneur?
Thank you, Honey, for asking that question. And I would like to just take back on the previous question as well. So I have gone through the phase that she has. I was back in office while he was 2 months old, and yes, he was on only mama's milk for the first year, so it was very difficult. And in my day and age, there were no women empowerment forums happening, no HR departments looking after women, but I managed it. So the thing is, if you believe you can do it, there is a way out. You just have to find the right solutions. And I think what is happening in my case with my child, coming back to Honey's question, is he sees a mom who is aggressive, who's dominant, who's out there, who's building businesses, who runs teams, who runs organizations, who's respected in the world. So for him, that's the only way moms are. So when he was very young, he was in play school, he was 2.5 years old. The teachers playfully were asking around in the class. So, they were trying to teach him the importance of mother, and unfortunately they were asking the question, so who cooks for you at home? This mom did, right? So he came and told me, Mama, when I said Manjana auntie, why was everybody laughing? So that's where the education started. I sat him down and I've been very candid with him always. I sit him down for every question, every query, and I explain it to him, and thankfully I'm blessed. I have a husband who supports me. When I'm out and my son needs attention, he sits at home and takes care of him. I don't have to worry whether he's fed, he's cleaned or not. Now, of course, he's big enough, but he has seen that right from childhood. So he's coming up with those values. So now at 16, the thing is, if dad is out of home, I am going to look after mom, and mom is not going to look after me. Those are the values. He looks after me. He looks after me, takes care of me, and he takes care of his friends as well. Because when he goes out with his female friends, when he goes out to school, I have always been telling him, if kids are younger than you in the bus, you have to look out for them. It doesn't matter that you're just 7, they are only 3, right? You have to look out for them. It doesn't matter that the girl is very good at taekwondo and beats the shit out of you, but when you're going out in a group, you have to look out for them. So these are things that you have to teach your kids, and also when they see you as an independent woman, when they see you working hard, and when they see the kind of balance that is there between the husband and the wife, the relationship, it automatically pans out for them, because those are the values they are imbibing, and I am touch wood. I hope he will help empower more women than I have. I would now like to ask Monique a question. You travel a lot, right? You are across the globe almost on a regular basis. How do you balance between your passion, your husband, and your passion, your entrepreneurship, and going around and speaking? How do you manage that balance?
Well, very easy. I put him into my suitcase, right? Well, of course, no, he doesn't fit. But I always used to say that I have 3 passions in life: entrepreneurship, speaking, and my husband. Of course, not in that order. No, he comes first, honestly, and I mean it. You're my decoration sweetheart if you watch this. You always come first. If I had to choose, well, what choice do I have when I'm married to an angel? If I had to choose business or husband, it would be him. Yes, it would be you. So honestly, because I think I could start building a business again and again. When we're entrepreneurs, we care about people, we'll always find a way of serving people and turning it into a business. So how do you balance it? Well, one thing is, first of all, be clear on your values. So ask yourself, what is the most important thing for you in your life? Maybe before your family or your loved one, maybe it's even your health. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your child. Be crystal clear on that. And then, very simple, time manage. Meaning that, when you look at your time, your calendar, say, okay, so and so many days, how much time do I spend on what's really important to me, or with who is really important to me? And then the third thing is you set boundaries. So, you can also call it, a friend of mine wrote a book about it, he calls it standards. Meaning that you set certain standards. Okay? A standard could be, and the standard is for me, Sundays, no work. Do I manage it all the time? No, of course not. I'm a human being. But I try to keep my Sundays free for my husband. He travels a lot, he's a consultant as well, so he understands my needs for traveling. But it makes it even harder because he travels during the week and I travel on the weekends because most conferences are around weekends. But then he sometimes comes along, I sometimes visit him where he works. And then we make sure that the time we have together, we plan our holidays. We plan our holidays first. We try to plan them first in the year before we plan anything else. So you just set boundaries. You say, okay, so my kids first. And then there might be the conference or the event or whatever, the opportunity, the award that could change your life and bring your business to the next level. And then it's your dad's or your child's or your partner's birthday. You just need to be clear. And even if you decide to go the other way, you need to talk about it and say, hey, do you mind? Involve them in your plan. And then see if you have either you find a husband that fits into your suitcase or a suitcase that's big enough. Anyhow, but take them along wherever you go, at least in your heart. So now, Didi, oh my God, you're such an inspiration to me and many. She has 4 kids, and she's so humble she didn't even say it. She runs 5 businesses, so in the end she has 9 kids, right?
Yeah.
So how do you manage to handle 4 kids? Actually, 4 under 7 and 5 businesses. Tell us.
That's the daily question I get. Communication is the secret. Communication in organization, but I say communication first because it takes communicating with your spouse, it takes communicating with your babysitter, the nanny, with your parents, with your whoever is around you, your circle of friends. It takes communication. Your friends need to know that you may disappear for a while because you're taking care of your businesses and your children. My friends know what's going on, and I communicate. So I'm like, okay, let's have lunch, but I won't be available till a month and a half, 6 weeks time. Let's, so I really do. I make sure my friends know that I'm thinking of them, and I do want time with them. But this is my schedule, I communicate. So with my babysitter, my husband, I'm always constantly communicating about our daily schedules. Of course, with my children, they're all doing different activities. You have to be organized. Time management skills, know your calendar. I know my calendar. The day before, I know the next day, I know the week ahead. So have a really good software that takes care of your calendar. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the simplicity of it, it doesn't have to be so complicated. I communicate, and I know my calendar. And actually, I like the boundaries. The boundaries one is, I do say no. A lot of people come to me and want my time, but I need to know who are my priority. Like, my mother has been asking me, can you come and stay in Hong Kong for a few days? Can you come? Please, I want to, I understand her love for me and wanting me to be in. But I do have businesses to run. I have 4 children. So you have to know your priorities. Not that my mother's not my priority, but you just have to know so that you can balance your life in a way that will feed you, your soul. Making yourself happy is the #1 most important thing in life. That's it.
Thank you. Yes, please. Anyway.
Yes, I have a question to the panel. You have really enlightened us in terms of how we can get into a new venture or how we can grow. But every venture, everybody, there are so many of them worldwide, countrywide. What is it really that you can do? Because all those ventures, they have their own clients, and you are just new. What is it, the first thing that you can do to grab a bit of that market share?
Sorry, can I get the question again? Can you get it? Can you rephrase it?
So, Iman, can you say the question
Yeah,
again?
sorry, I'm not very sure.
Okay, the thing is, everything that you sell, whether a bottle or a fish fund, is not very unique. Everybody is doing this on the market. So how do you do it for you to grow as a new entrant into that?
Okay, so how do you grow your business when you enter a new market? Or
Yes, you are talking about a startup.
Yeah.
How do you get your clients, Susan? How do you get your market share is what you ask?
Yes, what are the first steps for you to get those, because you'll be getting those clients who already have startups.
Being new in the market, how
do you get your clients in your market share?
Okay, so see, sorry, I didn't get your name. Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Thank you for your question. What I can say based on my experience is that, it's very, very challenging if you start something in the area in which you do not have expertise or networking. So if you're starting something from scratch where you do not know the market, or rather the market doesn't know you, it becomes very, very challenging. So, Didi mentioned and Monique mentioned, it's like networking, right? Knowing people. It's when I started co-work, what helped me was that I was already very active in the startup scene. in Hong Kong. So I knew a lot of companies who were looking for spaces. I knew people who would be looking to rent out their office space, etc. So I built on those networks and connections. So how I got my first few customers was actually very interesting. It wasn't any one of my referral or any one of my friend. I got my first business through Twitter. So we launched our business. We went very big on Twitter first, and the first customer that I got was from on Twitter. So in order to get the client in a new business that you're doing, I think knowing the industry or knowing at least some of the people in the industry really helps you. And nowadays, you need to be out there. So social media, if it works for you. For example, Twitter worked for us, LinkedIn works for me, but Facebook doesn't. That's a different story. But going out there and telling people about what your product is or what your service is really helps. And the third thing, which probably is the most important part, is having an offering which people want. So if you are solving a problem which is genuine, if you are offering a product in a country where it is really needed, you're offering a service where there is a real gap, you would find people. But having networks, being present on social media or digital platform today is something which pushes you to get your first customer. Does this answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But we are looking at the developing scenario.
Okay.
Where there is Twitter, where there's, you understand?
I know. Okay.
Where there's Facebook, where the network is even a nightmare for the office of the vice president.
Okay.
So because most of the time when you're coming here, some of us we are looking at talking to the local rural women. Not the city life, not the developed life. You excuse me, I'm not trying to be very excluded. But
No, that's okay. That's totally fine. Maybe we can talk a bit offline about it, because if... So, I do have a lot of examples that I can share with you, but I'm sure there are other panelists and there are questions for them as well. I'll definitely come and see you after this.
Yes, and I know we have questions, but we are running over. We're 5 minutes. Okay, we have. Do we have time? Or are we done? Okay. We start.
1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. Okay.
This is important.
Oh, this is important. 1 minute. Okay, go ahead.
You guys talked about collaboration. So actually, I think this was the second speaker.
I spoke about collaboration.
It's
okay.
Everybody's touching the topic, and I completely agree. So in collaboration, not networking and stuff, I think networking is quite easy compared to collaboration. And I think when you say that, you also have to teach how to collaborate. Because a lot of people come to me and say, yeah, let's do something together. Okay, what do you have in mind? So, I don't know, you tell me. Excuse me. I don't want to collaborate, but if somebody has a good idea, I would love to. But we have to understand how to do it.
Collaboration is something that a lot of people come to me about. Cross-promoting, you can do that on websites, which is the easiest way. You literally put it, that's easy. But the real collaboration is you have to know the other person first. Do you want to work with them first? Do you have a product or service that actually helps each other? If it clashes, obviously not. But if it's something that's good, then you can collaborate. But you want to know exactly what to do in order.
No, not for me. I understand completely how I collaborate. But people who have this idea and who you're telling collaborate, tell them also how. Because people reach out to others and they always have their own benefits. That's what I experienced since 10 plus years. So how to do it? And how to follow up and so then we get the fruits, right?
So as Dee said, the first step is you don't collaborate just because you've met in a networking event. You have to build that relationship. Right. You have to suss out the vibe. You have to understand that the two of you have common passions and you can work together or not.
Yes.
It's pretty much like a marriage.
Correct.
Of sorts. So you have to get into the dating portion and then see whether you guys gel together, whether you vibe, whether you can work together or not. And then what I was talking about earlier was growing the pie together, because the market is huge, but each individual, if they try targeting the entire market, it is that much difficult, especially bootstrap companies, it's that much difficult to take your voice to everybody. If you do it together, it kind of reaches everybody.
I just wanted to point it out because
I think she just wants us to talk more about how to do it, not that she doesn't know how to
reaching
do
out
it.
to other women or men as well, they can also, in this beautiful thing.
Jasmine, it looks like you know a lot about it, so if anyone in the room wants to know more about it, talk to us or talk to Jasmine, because I know you know a lot about it, right? I mean, that's why you made that point, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah.
And if anyone is interested to talk to us afterwards right now outside, you're welcome. Okay, so if you want to start your business, scale your business, or speak out and get more visible, come and talk to us.
And we're taking pictures, right? There we are.
Come and have a picture with us.
Excuse me. Yeah. We can crack jokes. Well, I know I'm holding my breath in.
We are trying to do that.
Actually, the silence. It's holding your smile.
It's a big circle.
Yeah, now you get it. You got them. I think we're already kind of. Okay.